So, Cox, this is one of your favourites, is it?
I love Barbetta.
Do they love you, though?
Well, it's Italian, so I'd hope so.
Okay,
And
well-
I probably should have given you a kiss on the cheek.
Oh, yes, you kiss everyone on the cheek.
It's an Italian thing.
Okay, so do they know you? Are they going to go, hey?
Someone might give you one.
I'll take any kiss I can get.
Come in.
Thank you, mate.
All good.
Oh, this would be your regular spot, is it?
No, I love it.
In the corner?
Have you had the gelato yet?
I have. We did it not long ago with the kids.
Yeah, it's good.
Oh, this is a lovely idea.
This is it. Obviously, I grew up in Perth, so anytime any family come over, it's almost
This is the
given
spot.
that they're gonna come here for.
Whereabouts
a
in
coffee or-
Perth?
I grew up in a place called Swan View, Midland.
Swan View.
Towards the hills.
Right, okay.
Well, my nonno, my grandfather, when
Yeah.
he came over, I don't know exactly if he still wanted to come over to New South Wales, but a lot of them just got off at Fremantle, and so
They did,
got off
didn't
at
they?
Fremantle, quickly got a job in Midland, and that's where my family still are. So.
Right. And was there any sporting background in the family?
No, none.
None at all?
No, none at all.
So they went, Stephen,
Well, my nonno,
what's this game you...
but my dad loved AFL and grew up in Perth, and it's cricket or AFL. So
Well, I lived in Perth when... I lived there for 3 years when I got into radio.
Yeah.
And it was at the time when West Coast were really having a party.
I know. Yeah. So
Really having
So you may have seen some things.
Andrew Embley,
Yeah.
Cuz.
Yeah, I was going to say.
It was
the
just-
Prince. Yeah.
But Perth is a great part of the world.
They're a massive, football state.
Yeah.
I don't think you come to a place like Sydney, it's just completely different. So.
And you know what? Hey, hello, mate.
How are you?
You would know Cogs, of course.
Of course,
Do you normally speak Italian to Stephen, or?
Not personally. Mine's a bit rusty, but
Okay.
I'll still give you a kiss on the cheek later.
Yes, of course. Kisses all round.
would you just have to coffee? Or
Yeah, I would love one.
Can I get you?
What are you going to have?
Double macchiato.
Sure.
I'll just get a long black, please. Sure. Thank you.
That's a breakfast radio order.
With the long black?
Double,
your
triple,
one.
make it a quadruple.
Yeah.
There's like a little Nespresso
Yeah, I can
machine
imagine,
outside
yeah.
the studio.
Yeah.
And my count at the moment is about 6 to 8. In
day?
that 3 hour, 6 to 9
And
window.
just how many would you have in a day?
Oh, up to 10.
Yeah.
I don't know, there's always, if you look hard enough on the internet and you want to find the right study and bit of information, you can.
Yeah.
So you'll find an article that says any more than 2 will kill you.
Yeah.
And then it'll say 10 plus will let you live forever.
I know. What was your footy career like?
Footy career was pretty strong.
Yeah.
What have you heard?
I've
Quite a few people
heard,
talking about it.
I've heard the Ashburton Redbacks maybe.
Ashburton Redbacks versus
Giving you a
Glen Iris
few-
Gladiators.
The Gladiators.
I was just a
nightmares back in
man,
the
like,
day.
because I developed early. I don't know what they thought, but they put me at centre half back
Yeah.
in the hope that I could just get the ball and bomb it long.
Yeah.
But then I'd always say, yeah, but the most important person in the opposition is probably the centre half forward.
Yeah.
I got to shut them
exactly.
down. Yes, that's me. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
But yeah, I mean, how if I was to describe it, legendary.
And what would the count be on how many times you've heard Fitzy talk about his 5 goals?
5 on debut. Do you know what he used to have? This is without a word of a lie, and I remind him all the time. He should never have told me this. In one of 2 games that he played in his long career, he out-muscled Djakovic
Nice.
and took a mark.
Yeah.
And he's got the audio. It might have been McAvaney.
So he's actually.
Yeah, he's got
so he
the
just
audio
plays
from
it
the
back.
commentary, and he had it as his ringtone. Oh, Fitzgerald out-muscles Djakovic. Out-muscles Djakovic.
Yeah. I'm sure Jacko would love that one as well.
So yeah, I do hear a lot about Fitzy's footy career,
Yeah.
even though we've been doing the show for 15 years.
Is that what it is? Wow.
Tell me about the biggest guest you've had on this series.
Biggest is I like to live in the present. I'm just going to go with you. For
Mate,
now.
congratulations.
That's it. No,
this
thank
is
you very
good.
much. Thanks for having
This is a
me.
great idea.
Thanks for coming on.
Coffee with Cogs.
Yeah, coffee with Cogs today.
Yeah.
What's one coffee that changed your life?
Oh God. You mean when I sat down and had the conversation, or literally the bean?
Yeah, like, so, no, the actual.
It's the setting.
For me, it's the conversation.
Yeah, I was late to coffee.
Yeah, so was I.
really late to coffee,
Yeah.
like 30s.
Yeah.
When Lisa and I were early in our relationship, and you had the freedom of Saturday morning going out for breakfast.
Yeah.
It's a great conversation piece.
Yeah.
And at the same time, to meet a friend, grab a coffee, and go for a walk.
Yeah.
Is a great bonding
Just the
moment as well.
simple things. Yeah.
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 So it's funny how it becomes such part of your life.
Yeah.
Like we're very simple because I need the quick turnaround at work, but even the sound of the pod,
Yeah.
even the sound of the machine,
I can imagine.
it all kind of clicks into this routine that you look forward to.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it can
You
sit-
eat at times, like sometimes you go to bed looking forward to the coffee the next morning.
You
like,
do,
Yeah.
you do, because it's part of it. And you think, even on a Saturday morning, if I can still go out for a coffee and a smashed avocado,
Yeah.
then we're all winning. It's a farmer's breakfast, maybe we'll get the sausages.
Yeah, why not?
Do you know what I mean?
Spoil yourself. Your journey now, you said you've been with Fitzy for 15 years.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
But before that,
Well, that was interesting.
Melbourne.
Yeah, Perth for 3 years, Melbourne prior to that.
What did you start doing?
I first got a job in country radio.
Yeah.
So in a place called Port Nalunga.
Yeah.
Port Nalunga, that's where
That's
Fitzy's
Fitzy's
from.
from.
Port Augusta.
Yeah.
In South Australia.
Yeah.
But it is like
Is that a paid promotion for Port Nalunga?
the best place to visit, thanks to Port Nalunga, Tourism Australia. Anyway, I did sort of 14 months in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like, it was brutal. There's not a lot there. And you drive 3 hours northwest of Adelaide, and then you don't see anything. It's just desert until you're about 20 minutes out. It's a port.
Yeah.
Did a lot of fishing, did a lot of crabbing.
Yeah.
But I lived next door to the radio station, which was the best part about it. So I'd literally walk out the front door and I'd go round the corner into the radio station.
Oh, good.
So if I ever had people over for dinner, I could go to the radio station
Exactly.
and just choose the songs that I wanted, put them in the system, go back, put the
That's
radio
great.
on. So it was like that, but it was loose.
Yeah.
You know, I remember one time there was a listener event, a client event. So the guy who ran the station, he had a famous last name, which was Kernahan.
Yeah.
So his brother was Sticks.
Yeah.
And Gary loved a good time. So we went away, we went sort of an hour out of town, and we'd always have a few drinks. Anyway, Kerners, as we waved goodbye on the minibus to everybody, he said, I'll give them a goodbye. Dropped his strides and just sort of mooned out the back of the bus like a naughty school kid. And I thought, is this what we do?
Only like
here?
only
See you guys.
only in a
And
country
they're all
town.
going, Kerners.
So they all knew.
They loved him.
Yeah.
They absolutely loved
Only in a
him.
country town. What lessons did you learn along the way that's helped you to get into the position? Maybe one career one and one life one that you had to
Yep.
experience to really help you to where you got to today.
I think the career one would be, there's a lot of frustrations in your career as you go along, whatever industry you're in. And the people that get in the way, or the people you don't think are doing a great job, and you kind of need to back yourself in knowing who they are and what they're trying to do,
Yeah.
they do fall away.
Yeah.
So you just have to keep going, believing in what you're doing is right.
Yeah.
So if you're not lost in that moment of going, stuff this, it's not worth it, why did I get into radio?
Yeah.
And just realise that that's that moment in time, and you believe in what you do because that's why you're there to start with.
Yeah.
So if you continue to think about the big picture is here, and I've got to trust that I'll get there. So for these moments, they're just stepping stones.
Yeah, even now, if you look at your competition or how many of your colleagues, or in breakfast radio even, for instance, how many people hold a job like you, there wouldn't be many. And so along that journey, as you're a comer, you're probably having a lot of thoughts, a lot of doubts, a lot of fears.
Yep.
I know myself even, played. This is
Yeah,
my
a lot of
14th.
people think, how did you play over 200 games?
Yeah, exactly. But
Everyone.
it's-
All these guys, even him in the pink.
It must be Swan supporters. When you're trying to become who you are today, how did you overcome those fears, those doubts, those negative thoughts at times when it maybe didn't look like you were going to get the job
Yeah.
or you were going to get that gig?
Yeah, I think you got to back that you'll get there.
Yeah.
And you're right, there's so many moments where
Yeah.
you're sitting back and you're awake at night thinking, oh, shivers, this isn't working.
Yeah.
why isn't this working?
Yeah.
And you believe you can do it. Dad always bangs on about, do it now.
Yeah.
Just do it. Just don't ever think it. You almost have to go into a robot mode. Because you really, by saying that, I'm saying, remove all the emotion. So if you're going to remove the doubt and just know that the path is right, then do that. And just showing up.
Yeah.
Like, just show up every day. So, I mean, 15 years, I pride myself that in 15 years of the show, I've never had a sick day.
Yeah.
I just don't do sick days.
Yeah.
That's kind of like I just don't like it.
Yeah, we
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Unless I'm...
No, it's the same. It's the same in the footy club as well. Or actually,
unless I'm, I don't
the
know.
older guys. You know what I mean? It's still the same. If you miss, in particular, if you miss a Monday, it's even worse. But any sick day, I feel like anyone who's 28 and above, it's
I know.
you never ever forget.
And
it.
there's been some challenges, Cogs.
Oh, big
like,
time, yeah. You can imagine.
Fitzy and I did a show in LA one time,
Yeah.
and we had a bit of first night fever. Now, I wasn't naturally sick, but whatever happened the night before was not a
Still
good
on-
place to
Still on
be.
Sydney time.
Yeah. Still on Sydney time, and I remember we were doing a series of interviews with the cast of Entourage
Nice.
and Johnny Drama.
So they weren't big interviews.
And I remember turning up and I
show.
just had the sheet, and I remember thinking, just read the questions, mate.
It's got to be one of my favourite shows.
Oh, phenomenal. And then I walked in and I said to Johnny Drama, I'm not feeling very well.
Kidding.
And he went, neither am I, man. I'm really struggling. And I went, okay, I'm going to read the question, you're going to answer it.
Yeah.
That was as simple as that. But I think, yeah, showing up is a big one.
No, big time.
I'm also fascinated by the impossible. To think that you can achieve and do something that doesn't exist today.
Yeah.
And I think that's what excites me more than anything. And I love that, you know, in radio, a simple idea of going, hey, we got this thing on the end of a stick here, and you can talk into it and talk to everybody in the city.
Yeah.
What are you going to do with it today?
Yeah.
Probably similar to what we did yesterday. Not the point, Cogs. So it's always in the back of my mind of, what else can we do with this wonderful bit of technology that can communicate with everyone?
If I asked you 10 years ago, who inspires you, and I asked you today as we're having coffee, who inspires you, what would the answers be?
Do you know what the difference I think would be? I'd probably 10 years ago have gone for bigger names like Kobe Bryant, but I'm probably moved more these days by the quieter man.
Yeah.
I mean, their names because it's their industry.
Yeah.
But I'm fascinated by the stories of the guy that runs this, who's had his own level of success and where he's come from and what he did to get here. And I think the definition of success, as everyone talks, I like to think, is that if you're continuing to grow in your industry, then that's your aim, then that's success.
Yeah.
Like when I talk about, you know, things that drive me an opportunity, it's similar to what we've discussed before with 36 months.
Yeah.
Feeling
There's an amazing photo, and I encourage everyone to look at it on the 36 months Instagram with you all embracing after
in
Prime
Canberra.
Minister. Yeah, with the Prime Minister. What was that feeling like when the Prime Minister finally said we're changing things? It's going from 13 to 16.
Yeah,
What went through your mind? What went through your body during that moment?
It was big. I was so moved by the hypothetical of imagine if we could. And it physically moved me. Like I was picturing Ted, my little man, who's going to be the closest to the social media age, you might say, sitting down on his phone, and I have no understanding of what's going on there and how it can impact him.
Yeah, my girls are
Scares the hell out of me.
13 years away, well, now
Yes.
16 years away from it. But it would scare the hell out of me, so I can only imagine.
Especially for girls, like the numbers and the statistics are so concerning. Like there's 275% increase in girls being hospitalised because of self-harm. And a lot of it comes from social media and the internet.
When you first started the campaign and you shed light on the numbers, I just could not believe that it had even not been done before. Do you know what I
I
mean?
know.
Yeah.
It seemed like an obvious, but the idea that we could make a change in this country and delay kids joining social media until they're 16 was just something that moved me so much. But like we were talking about doing the impossible, to me it was just a hypothetical. It was imagine if we could. I think the success of it too, if you look at what drove it was the topic was hot.
Yeah.
the timing was right, and just the constant pressure that we were able to put on it
Yeah.
because of the media.
Yeah.
But you know, the whole trip to Canberra was bizarre. That we got down there, we spent 3.5 hours in the car thinking about what we were going to say to Albo if he didn't do it.
Yeah.
Anyway, we got there, we went out for Japanese, couple of sake bombs. I missed a call from the Prime Minister. So I would have gone, I don't know his number, but I would have gone, oh my God, what is that, the bank again? So I just put the phone back in the pocket. Cut to the next day, we turn up to Parliament House. And he goes, I tried to call you, mate, how are you?
You're kidding.
You know, very friendly guy. I said,
Didn't leave a message?
He goes, yeah, he did. I left a voicemail for you. Anyway, we go into the Oval Office, or the Wedge, and it was pretty heavy. So we had Matt and Kelly, who had lost their little girl, Charlotte. Charlotte was 12 years old. And the impact of social media obviously was devastating on beautiful little Charlotte. And Charlotte was there in spirit and also in the form of ashes inside a teddy bear. Then we had Rob, who had lost his daughter, Liv, and he was carrying her in an urn. So it was a heavy feeling. It was a really heavy feeling. So Michelle Rowland, the communications minister, was also there. And Albo had come out and said and made his statement that he was going to change the laws. And this was prior to this meeting, we were almost in disbelief.
Yeah.
We couldn't quite establish what had happened in that moment. And he also sort of reinforced the power of politics and the trust in politics. So very early on you had Peter Dutton, who came out and said, I put it at the top of my list for the first 100 days if we get into power. So we knew that Dutton was going to do something. Albo had then said he was going to make a decision in November, so we knew that he had to make a call on it. We were in Canberra, Dutton was there as well, and Albo came to the party and said that we were going to do something. So as we sat in the office, the most moving part was the parents that burst into tears.
Imagine.
And it was really heavy. Michelle was crying, and the tissues were passed around. So it certainly wasn't a moment of celebration, but more just relief.
Yeah.
And then the Prime Minister's right-hand man walked in and said, Prime Minister, President Trump is on the phone.
Seriously?
Yeah. And I looked at Aldo and went, are you going to ditch me for the Don? And he went, it was a scheduled call.
You should have answered his call on the first day. He wouldn't have done that to you.
So I felt like saying,
Yeah.
we got what we needed.
Yeah.
So thank you.
We talk about, in AFL, we talk about one percenters.
Yep.
You know, those little incremental gains that can maybe make the difference.
Yep.
What would your three keys to success be? Your three 1%ers that are non-negotiables, but also your keys to success?
It's a really good question. Do you know, I think when we talk about that commitment, and people say when great things happen and opportunities present themselves, people say, oh, how's that for timing? But I think if you do something well enough and consistently over a period of time, it's not a matter of timing, it's a matter of time.
Yeah.
It will happen. You just have to keep going at a certain level and delivering that quality, and then the opportunity will just start presenting itself.
Yeah.
I think that'd be one. Just believe in yourself and keep working hard to keep that level.
Consistent,
Yeah, I think that would be a big one. I think it's important too to stick to your morals on things, which can be hard, but whether it's how you present yourself or your stance on something, to go, no, that's where I'm at on that, and that's who I am, and I'm not worried about what anyone else might think. Probably the third one that I continue to tell myself, which drives me the whole time, is just nothing's impossible. Like, it's exciting to think, imagine if we did that. And you don't know what's happening tomorrow.
And that's what 36 months you've been able to.
Yeah, you might win a grand final contest.
Yeah.
I mean, I had money on you last year, which is a bit of a sore point.
We'll talk about that. I'll get the coffees, don't worry.
But to think that you might, I mean, let's say Cogs is here doing, a coffee show and a vodka. What do you call it? A video podcast, right? But then you might want to take it to Tuscany.
Exactly, yeah. Well, we'll do that.
Do you know what I mean?
Maybe next time I interview, we'll do it.
Are you thinking you and I should go on a tour of Tuscany.
Why not?
Drinking coffee.
Why not? That's the next time I interview
This
you,
just
we'll do it in
became
Tuscany, okay?
the most important coffee I've ever had.
We'll go back and ask that next time.
Anything can happen,
know.
Cogs.
I've got some quick hits for you.
Okay,
What time does your alarm go off in the morning?
4 a.m.
Every morning.
Yeah,
How many do you set?
shoot me now. 3. One at 16, one at
I set
24.
a lot of that, don't worry. The biggest free kick that someone's given you, so the best advice or the most help you've ever received from someone.
Probably the concept of the stepping stones.
Okay. Yeah.
Don't let anything get in your way. They're just stepping stones.
Yeah. The free kick you can give to someone else, would that be it?
Probably this coffee.
Nice.
I don't know. I like to help out where I can.
Yeah.
I'm always open to somebody who's attempting to do something different.
Yeah.
That excites me
Yeah.
for them. So, yes, many people, I think, with whatever their endeavours might be.
Best travel experience?
Oh, God. I mean, we mentioned Italy. Can I share something with you?
Of course you can.
I love seafood linguine.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Do you know what I got? Watch this. I've got a
What have you got?
file. It's called Seafood Linguistic. And it's just all the seafood linguinis I've had, different seafood pasta dishes. I hope they're coming through, guys. Got a rating out of 10 on a few of them. Bit of Italy, South
But that leads into my next one because what's your perfect Sydney food day? So I need a breakfast, lunch, bar,
you know what?
and then dinner.
I love, is that the new place, Cressida, I think?
Okay.
In
Yep.
Wallara?
Yep.
That's great. I think it's Phil there. He's awesome.
Yep.
Can't get past Toddy's.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah.
I mean, when that bread comes out, it looks like
Yeah,
a pillow.
it's awesome, yeah. I mean, I'm biased with the Italian food stuff. But
Yes.
it's pretty special. And bar,
You know, down the bottom here?
Charlie Parker.
Charlie Parker.
That's one of my favourites.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I love it.
Because it's almost, you could be anywhere in the world.
It could be anywhere.
And the candles and a whiskey.
No, I love it.
You feel like you could solve all the world's
100%,
problems.
Yeah. Where's your La Dolce Vita? So it translates to the sweet life. If there was
shivers.
no issues, no problems, you could live anywhere with your family in the world.
And when we spoke about Tuscany earlier, if it wasn't there,
We've got work.
we've got work that we work there, so tax deductible. But if we're going to build in not just the coffee, if we do maybe series 2 can be seafood linguine.
Yeah, we'll do that. All right.
So we might have to go to Capri.
Yeah, done. Well, the thing that you're most proud of?
Outside of the family, wife and kids, I'm extremely proud of what Fitzy and I, Tommy and everyone else who's joined us over the 14, 15 years have put together on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Some days it's hard work, as you mentioned,
Yeah.
but it's always a joy and it takes a lot of mental strength to continue to put it on par with 36 months.
Yeah. A similar one, but the happiest you've been.
Can't beat a weekend at home.
Yeah.
The kids are old enough to be ridiculous
Yeah.
and have fun and do silly things. Jack said the other day, Dad, you can be funny, but you're a bit unusual, aren't you? And I said, I hope so, mate.
Yeah.
I hope so. And you should be too.
Yeah.
You should be unusual.
I love that. What about having coffee with the Cogs today?
Yep.
If there was anyone else in the world you could have coffee with, who would it
Oh,
be?
shivers. Toby Green.
Yeah, I can arrange that.
Yeah. Yeah, Toby would be great.
And final question, if there's someone that I should interview on Coffee with Cogs,
Oh,
you gotta
shivers. Not
someone that I
Fitzy.
should go after.
Definitely not Fitzy. That'll bore the out of you. Why don't you do someone fascinating, like that's got a nothing to everything story? Scott Farquhar, Atlassian.
Yeah.
Those boys have had huge success.
Yeah.
But I'd love to know what the drive was. I'd love to know what it's like now. Does he still have the energy with this level of success? Be interesting.
Yeah. Awesome. Can't thank you enough for today. We appreciate
I just assumed that coffee with Cogs always ends with a kiss.